You ever get passive aggressive?
Sometimes. Justin knows.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But I do it sort of like a trolling way though. Like I don't mean it like completely mean it. It's just for fun, kind of, I guess you can say.
This guy tilts me, man.
Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Q Up. I am Jay Hairston, and this is Team Envy's official podcast, where each and every week we take you inside the world of esports and gaming with the people who know it best.
Yep, and if it is your first time listening, every Mondays we post new episodes on the podcast services, and every Wednesdays we post the video format on youtube.com/Team Envy.
We have two special guests today, the champs, Zhely and Apathy. What's going on, guys?
Doing good.
Doing good.
Come on, can we start that over? Like, bring it back. We got the champs in the house.
Champs!
Zhely and Apathy. What's going on?
Listen, man, I'm doing great. Just woke up, got a workout in. The energy's here. Bring it.
Yeah, had a late morning at the gym, but we're ready for this podcast. We're ready to talk about everything.
Let's get into it. And for some of our listeners who may not be too familiar with you, give us your elevator pitch. Just tell us a little bit about your history.
You go ahead.
My name is Justin Fargo Palmer, or Zhely. I'm a two-time Call of Duty champion. I'm a one-time world champion, and I've been playing Call of Duty since the dawn of time.
Since the dawn of time.
Yeah, my name is Bryan Zhelyazakov. I go as gamertag Apathy. I've been competing in Call of Duty for about 8 years now, since I started becoming pro basically in Black Ops 1. And I'm a two-time world champion. I've won multiple events myself. And I mean, I love what I do.
Is it hard talking about yourself?
I hate talking about myself, personally. I like people having to do it for me.
I'm Jay Hairston. My career started with Modern Warfare 2, a legend on Rust. And
Sure.
give me a heartbeat sensor and taking you out. No question.
All right, so Jay's not a pro. I just want to clarify that. Not any good at the game. Okay at Smash, but nothing else. So
Why you gotta call me out?
terrible Bastion main and Overwatch. So
Ridiculous.
let's talk about some Call of Duty earlier.
Let's get into it.
Lots of cool stuff happening with the Call of Duty community and game. Obviously, we've seen a lot of news coming through. What do you guys want to see come to COD? I mean, you both have a huge history with it. So what's next, and what do you guys want to see?
I think one of the biggest things I would love to see in COD is crowdfunding. We saw it in Dota 2, where they have insane prize pools. You know, they like sell some sort of skin or something on the market, and then they use some of that money to go into the founding of the biggest tournament of the year.
It's a great idea.
I mean, we've been talking about it, you know, amongst us pros. Like, they need to put crowdfunding in. Like, that would be something awesome. And I feel like the support would just be there with the community, and you want to see it like happen and see like how big or how crazy to get. So that's like one of the biggest things for sure I'd like to see.
I'm curious to see what you guys think. All of you guys listening, like, how much money would you put into COD to make it like a more awesome event?
I got at least 5 on it.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody would at least give 5. If you're somewhat interested in COD and you're like, oh, there's a competitive scene? Yeah, let's make this a little bigger. Let's throw down $5. Zhely, how much you putting in?
I'll put in any amount to make COD
Because you're getting it right back, though.
Yeah.
Because you're going to win it.
Yeah, right back in my pocket.
Just transferring it. Yeah. CWL Fort Worth's coming up.
Yeah, we're super excited for Fort Worth this weekend. Hope to see all of our MV fans out there. Hopefully, you have some kind of home field advantage. We can take home the dub.
So what is that? Yeah, what does that mean? So esports is very different than traditional sports because you don't have like home teams yet. We're starting to do that with like Overwatch and franchising and things. But what is there really a home field advantage right now for COD?
Technically, there's not a home field advantage right now, but I like to think there is. It gives me a bit of delusional confidence going into the event. You know, maybe a little extra push.
Do you have anyone coming to CWL Fort Worth? Besides the entire organization to support you?
Other than you guys, my girlfriend will be here,
Nice.
but that's about it for this event. It's a little far from home, so.
Well, I mean, speaking of home, when we were at CWL Vegas, you had the whole fam come out, man. It was the Zhely squad out there.
Zhely was rolling deep.
Yeah,
Rolling deep
you
in
had
Vegas.
what? Was your mom, grandpa?
My aunt, uncle, girlfriend, a couple of my friends, my parents, everybody kind of rolls out because they all watch the match together at home whenever I'm gone. So the fact that it was like in my hometown, everybody had to go.
Does that help you play better, you think? having the family
I
there?
definitely think the support helps me play better. I like having everyone there. It kind of gives me like a little more fire to do well.
Apathy, your girl doesn't miss a match.
No, she does not. She comes to me almost every event. It's rare for her to not be at an event. Lately, I guess it's becoming more of a thing as she's been already like to most of my events, and it gets tiring. And even her, she gets bored there sometimes, just waiting and sitting around doing nothing. But yeah, she's probably my biggest supporter.
I played college basketball growing up, and I played my worst when there was a pretty girl I knew was in the crowd, like watching, and I knew she was like watching me and like every move and everything like that, especially when the ball was in my hand. And I just did not play well when I had like my girl there.
Wait, was it
That's not
your
fair.
girl or was it your potential girl? You're trying to impress her still.
Oh, that's a great differential.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Because once you get it locked in, you already know she's there to support you. That's one thing. When you're trying to be like,
That's
you know,
true.
win her
That's
over
true.
and you're
'Cause
trying to,
they're
like, look
'cause then they're
cool and-
sitting next to your fam, and then it's just one big party. Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah, I view she's like, I guess like one of my biggest motivations. So, like anytime she's there, I know she has my support. It's like I want to do good. It's like I have that fire to perform, and I just want to like, I guess accomplish all my goals.
So one of the things that separates you from a lot of players is that you're married, and I've always been curious. So you have a house?
I do
Where's the house located?
in Miami, Florida.
In Miami. Nice.
Yeah,
Somebody's doing well. Envy taking care of you?
take care of me very well.
No, so you have with house comes maintenance and all these things. Justin, you can relate on that. So
Yeah.
renovation, stuff like that. So if you're going into a tournament, and I don't know what the buyout is or the payout is, but say it's $30,000, and you and your wife have been discussing maybe some kitchen renovations or something like that. and
Yeah.
it's $25K. Do you think about that going into the match? Like, I got to get this paper so she can get off my back about this kitchen. Or are you able to like tune that out? How does that work?
I mean, I tune out money a lot. I think that's something that I've adapted the past couple of years. I feel like it allows me to play better and perform at a higher level. Because when you're thinking like about the money and thinking about like, oh, like this match is for this amount of money, I need to win this. I feel like it starts to affect you sometimes, and it might put a little more pressure on you. And I feel like when you play without pressure is when you play the best. So lately, I think more about just winning the match and just taking it like one match at a time, and not really focusing about the money and whatever I place, or if I win a tournament, then that's when I'm actually happy and I think about, yes, I won this amount of money. That's kind
Smart.
of that's kind of how I like to view it. But yeah, it's been nice living, getting my first home and experiencing all the nice things with it. And obviously, it's like very, I want to say stressful and time consuming sometimes, like managing the house and everything. But I mean, she helps a lot, and she helps take care of that part. So it allows me to focus more and just competing and making sure I'm on point.
Right on, man. Silly, you're a sneakerhead, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Got quite the
definitely am.
collection.
Yes.
So you're already like looking at the new Yeezys, like
Oh.
after this tournament, you got the money lined up.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
already spent.
After any kind of prize money, I'll budget out a little bit for shoes. I have.
A special budget.
Yeah, I'll like justify buying a pair of shoes, like resale pair of shoes, if I win like so much. But I try not to splurge too much on my shoes because my collection is already very large.
Yeah. What's your favorite pair?
Definitely the black off-white Prestos. That's like my go-to, my daily shoe.
Do you have like a gaming shoe, like when you're on stage, like I gotta have these on?
Oh, I literally like when I'm at the event, it's all about comfort. So I just wear like regular Adidas trainers, just like from Foot Locker. It's
Okay.
the most comfortable shoe I own. Nothing crazy, but
Justin just bought like what?
I
pairs
bought 4 pairs of boots.
It was like $2,000.
They're different. So this is completely not related, but I bought boots the other day, and I was talking with the stylist there, and she's like, we're talking about like dropping like a couple $100 on each pair of boots, and I was like, man, that's nothing compared to some of these sneakerheads. Like, so you guys justified me spending my money on some like nice leather boots. I'm not talking like cowboy boots. I'm talking about like fashionable, like Italian. Anyway,
Those
whatever.
two words don't go together, do they?
Just
Fashionable
get out of
cowboy
here.
boots. I'm gonna call you out on that one.
So I wanted to ask a question for those of you guys that are watching that might not understand kind of like the scope of this dollar amount we're talking here, like championship money in COD. It's a lot of money. Like, whatever publicly has been disclosed, what can you guys say about like what's a championship pot for you?
What do you say is championship pot?
championship pot,
Like individually for like you to take home. I mean, more or less, like give or take, just for people who have
a minimum of like 25,000 a piece would probably be our lowest.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's changed over years for sure. Because I remember like even a couple years ago competing back in 2014 in Call of Duty Ghosts. I won a tournament and we won like I think 2,500 each. So it's like the scale is much larger.
Yeah.
It's 25,000 now each.
So it's tenfold what that
Yeah.
used to be. And I mean, coming up again, like you said, thinking about the money puts a lot of pressure on you, and that can potentially affect your performance.
Yeah.
And it is a lot of pressure. And that's amazing that these pros, and this is the thing for you guys that are sitting at home thinking you're the best player, is do that same thing, but be on stage when you know, like, 25, 50 grand's on the line.
And that pretty girls in the crowd looking at you. You guys ever played like harder to try to impress a girl?
I don't think so. I'm usually pretty carefree and just, I mean, if they think I'm cool because I'm winning, then I guess. If not, then whatever.
Winning is cool. Winners get girls.
Fair enough.
It's a bumper sticker. What's the stupidest, most ridiculous thing you've spent your winnings on? Where you're like, damn, that was a bad purchase. I shouldn't have did that.
That's a good question. I don't know. I make pretty good purchases. I'm pretty safe with my money. But
That is
maybe
the correct answer
gambling.
with your wife listening. That's
Yeah.
going to be the correct answer.
Maybe casino, I guess.
Oh yeah. How much you talking? 5K, 10K?
Nah, I'm not that crazy. There's probably like 1 or 2K. But I mean, other than that, I don't really know, to be honest.
Silly's out there balling it.
Yeah, he has to have something.
I have a lot of dumb purchases under my belt. I just bought a house, so I'm trying to keep those, down a little bit. But
That is the smartest purchase you could do with prize money, is buy a freaking
Yeah.
house. So good for you guys, both of you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's stay on that topic really quick. For these guys that are younger who are just getting into this and haven't won a whole lot yet, but might, what's the biggest piece of advice for these guys and their money? Like, what are you gonna tell them?
So you're saying people are just like starting to compete?
Yeah, and they're starting to make earnings and winnings. Like, what do they need to do with their money? That's smart for this type of scene.
Well, I think one of the biggest things is investing it like into your, I guess, like if you need like a new controller, a new monitor, like anything that would help you to continue to compete, or like if you need to travel to a tournament or something like that, you have that money there ready to use it. And other than that, I mean,
What
I
about
think
the
it's just be
production
smart.
side? Like the production side, like lighting, webcams, things like that.
I mean,
So,
yeah,
like,
if you're also trying to become a streamer or entertainer, I mean, most people who compete do also stream, and a lot of like newcomers do as well because it's another source of income and it also helps you get your name out there in even the competitive side. So that's definitely another good purchase, like just anything for streaming, with your webcam, some better lighting, a better computer so you have better quality, a better capture card. I mean, quality is definitely very important.
and you're like a streaming machine right now. Like, what is your schedule? What's your stream schedule?
Well, I was streaming very often. I was streaming a lot, but I decided to kind of slow down right now. So I'm probably streaming like twice a week right now. Not really streaming much. I decided to kind of step down and take the competitive side more serious and really focus on that. And I just feel like when I'm on a team, I want to perform the best. I want to be like the best player I can be, especially for my team. I don't want to like feel like I let them down. So I just got to make sure I'm on top of it and I'm on point. So that's what I'm really on right now.
Nice. Do you ever feel like you're playing for more than just yourself?
Yeah, I do. I mean, like I said, I think I feel like I play for my wife. I mean, she came up with me basically like when I just became a pro, or even when I quit for like a year and I had to do it all over again. And sometimes she wasn't sure if I was going to make it again, obviously, and she wasn't sure if I could do it, and I had to do it.
Right on. Silly, same question.
I'm definitely playing for, more than myself. I've had my pretty serious girlfriend for a while, and pretty much, anything I make off of this goes into our future, goes into our house, or like you were saying earlier, renovations. Like that's been my recent purchases, is just upgrading stuff. Definitely want to give her the best life possible.
But you don't just have Call of Duty going on right now. You're going to the school and you're getting all of that accomplished as well at the same time. That how do you balance that
What's the degree? It's a nursing degree, right?
Yeah. So
Tell us about that.
actually, champs time last year was such a tough time because we were at a boot camp, just it's similar to what we're doing now, playing 12 hours a day, and then I have to stay up, another 3-4 hours study for my final that I had right when I got back, and I decided to take this semester off of school to fully focus on this year because everything's getting bigger, everything's growing.
Okay.
So I'm actually taking some time off again, but the last couple semesters I took were a little too hard on me. So
Understandable. Nursing is not an easy thing to do. All of my family are nurses. Like every aunt, my mom, and that's a tough life to live. Medical field's rough.
So could we see Dr. Silly after, your pod days are numbered?
Doctor, absolutely not. I need to get out of school as quick as possible and finish as quick as possible.
So what do you want to do with it?
I just wanted to have a fallback plan for whenever I'm done with school, and there'll always be a need for nurses. It's just a good, stable job.
So on some level, you like helping people.
I guess so. I already was an EMT. I'm not certified anymore because it's been so long. But I initially went to be an EMT right out of school to be a firefighter. So I'm kind of just jumping around the medical field throughout my life.
Are you CPR certified?
Not actually anymore because I haven't got recertified, but I've been CPR certified.
So Kang just dropped. Cameraman Kang drops right now.
Oh, I still got him. He's fine. I'll save
He's
you.
gonna live.
Yeah, definitely.
Talk to us about preparation for CWL Fort Worth. What do you guys got going on?
I mean, we're doing a lot right now. I feel like, we're obviously working on our mistakes as we play, going over stuff that we need to go over. I think one of our main focuses is search and destroy. I feel like it's been our weakest game mode so far in this game. And it's just like a game mode that you could go over so much, like situational plays, you go over like beginning strats. And I feel like sometimes we mess up on both of those sides. So we're just making sure we're getting it all polished up and getting ready for the tournament.
It's definitely the most unforgiving of the game modes, right? So
Yeah.
your death is final for the round. So moving into it, there's a lot of things and experiences you guys can take away from your past performances. How much of that really matters on game day? Is it all mental at that point?
You go. Yeah.
It pretty much is all mental. We do all the hard work when it comes to our matches. We get these huge leads, even on like Game 5, Search and Destroy, and then we end up not being able to close. So I think we're literally at a point where we need to just mentally work on closing out the map.
And is that just polishing the little things, the attention to detail when it comes to closing out those games?
Yeah, I think we're literally just like worried about closing it out now. So we just have to polish like the last like 1 or 2 rounds, and we would. Everything would be completely.
You guys get
different
like
now.
giddy, like stressed, like it's right there, we got this, and you like overhype it, and then you're not like staying cool, calm, and
definitely get ahead of ourselves when it comes to Search and Destroy. So that's what we need to work on during this camp.
Interesting. What do you guys think about this? The strength of the schedule that you guys will face at CWL Fort Worth.
The schedule is pretty good schedule. We play, I think, United first. We beat them in our league match, and I feel like we match up very well against them, so we're just confident going in there in that match. Just got to make sure we play well. That's the biggest thing. I think we're a really good team. Then we play Optic. I feel like if we can get that win under our belt, we can easily take momentum and potentially beat Optic, even though they're probably one of the best teams right now. And then we have Reciprocity for our last match. So that's going to be another good match. They picked up, I believe, Dylan, who was their sub, and they replaced him with Dens. So that's going to be a really good team as well. I haven't played Dylan this game yet, so I'm very curious to see how they're going to do.
So when it comes to scheduling at CWL events, sometimes you'll play like back-to-back, sometimes you have hours in between. What do you guys prefer to do? Would you rather have a match like immediately after, or do you want that time to break and kind of re-scrim?
Definitely back-to-back-to-back. There's a term we use like called getting iced, and it's like when they make us sit for 6-7 hours, and then the first map you always get waxed by the team you're playing because you've been sitting around for so long. So definitely back-to-back-to-back.
Okay.
Is there warm-up stations? Do they do stuff like that? I know that's not enough. Sometimes.
Yeah.
There is.
Yeah.
I feel like the thing about that, though, is like if another team is in a match already and then they play us next and we're just sitting there around, like even if we're warming up and shooting bots, it's not the same as being in that competitive environment and like going really hard and just the energy's there. So I feel like that team always has the advantage. I've been there before. I know what it feels like to go like loser bracket run, go to match into the next match and you just catch the other teams off guard and you're just on fire and it feels like it's a whole different energy level.
Is there any improvements that you think fans should look out for since they last saw you play?
I mean, I feel like our teamwork is more on point. I feel like we're all performing well. I guess you can say, like, if you watched us before, maybe our teamwork was kind of off, our pace is kind of off. Like, I feel like now we're playing more as a team, more as a unit, and it's gonna help us a lot in our gameplay.
Let's touch on that a little bit. So the rumor mill is, like, there's trouble in Envy's camp. Like, communication's bad. They're frustrated with each other. They're not meshing. Like, what is the case? What is the actual case?
I just feel like we all weren't on the same page for a little bit, and that's pretty much the point of like all coming out here together and playing at the same location. Really just getting on the same page with like, everything, making sure our pacing is good, making sure we have the same understanding of the maps, of our strategies and everything. I think we've got all of that fixed.
Nice.
Well, touching back on that, you were talking about playing together for this particular event. For those of you guys watching that might not know, the teams spread out a little bit. We got Miami, we got Vegas, and we've got Dallas pretty much right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so tell us about the difference between playing online with each other like that versus all together for like a boot camp.
I feel like when you're together, I feel like it's just a different, I don't want to say connection, but it's like people tend to pay attention more, and especially if you go over stuff, because it's no longer like they can be on their phone or like they're there. You could be looking at them and making sure they're paying it. Like they're not gonna just ignore you, whatever you talk about. I feel like that's one of the biggest things. Like you have their full attention. So whenever you talk about things, everyone's listening. Everyone's making sure they're paying attention, and it actually comes into full effect when it comes to playing. And I think also like when you want to go over footage or go over stuff, you're all next to each other, so you can easily watch it together, rather than like in theater mode, let's say in Black Ops 4, only one person can watch per player. So it's like more difficult to go over footage and go over film and really pinpoint the things instead of when you're together. You get to do that so easily. So it definitely makes everything just so much easier when it comes to improving, just being together, because I feel like it's taken more serious. And on top of that, you get to study the film as such. Like it's just way easier to do it.
And then you throw in, I guess, Bevils, for example. What's his role in these types of boot camps? When you guys are playing, if you guys don't know, he's the coach of the team and kind of gets you guys on the same page, it sounds like.
Bevils was pretty much one of our big reasons for winning champs last year, and he implements all of our strategy. He makes up his own strats. He makes sure we all understand what we're supposed to be doing. He kind of keeps us like from killing each other when things aren't going well.
I mean, I would assume a lot of that is because you guys are passionate about the game and you all have your personal takes on what needs to happen. At the end of the day, is Bevils the end all be all of decision making when you guys are disagreeing?
Yeah, for the most part, he's definitely our mediator. We have people on the team, like all of us want to play different ways, and I think Bevils has like the final judgment on what we should actually do.
So a conversation I had recently in LA was about just metas in video games, and if there is a meta in COD. We even talked to like traditional sports. You think about the NBA or the NFL. There's certain strategies that take hold of the league. So, for instance, with football, you could think about a run-heavy meta, where it's like you get these big brutes that are just running down the lane and nobody can stop them. Right now, it's more of a passing league. The same thing applies to pretty much any game, because at its core, what it is consistency and risk mitigation, I think. So you're trying to find what's the most efficient way to do something without, losing your life or, going down points or whatever it may be. Is there a COD meta? Does that exist?
COD meta, I mean, I feel like for the most part, yeah. Like there's a meta, everyone runs sort of the same specialist, same classes, played like the most effective way you can in certain situations. But I feel like as the game goes on, like things sort of change. I feel like a team's always ahead of another team until maybe towards the end of the game, where that's like the meta. Like everyone knows how to specifically play the game and how it's going to be played. But when it comes to, I feel like something that's been changed over years that's been talked about is that like back in the day, everyone had their roles kind of. And that was like the meta. Like you had your OBJ player, you had like your main AR, you have your sub. And that OBJ player, like the objective player, is always focusing on the objective. And then you have like your main slayer. And I feel like that's been changed over the years, because everyone should be able to do everything. And you can usually win out if you have just slayers, like people who can perform well and get their kills, because at the end of the day, it's Call of Duty. It's about getting your kills. So nowadays, it's more so just like everyone should be able to do everything, and there's no really like set role. So that's like one thing that has changed.
Okay. Agreed, Silly?
Yeah, definitely. Kind of like Overwatch, we have like patches that come out throughout the year. I definitely think every single time it causes like a meta shift.
Yeah.
Like recently, like right after the last event, we had like the best gun in the game, the do-it-all gun changed. So we're seeing like less of the Maddox and like people playing differently with it because of more recoil, and it kind of changes the whole pace of the game.
And with you guys, there's a new game every year, so the meta changes every single
super,
year,
super
and you have to
meta.
come in, and it's like who can figure it out the fastest, who can figure out like the best guns and the best strats and those kind of things. It's very interesting.
What are for this patch currently going into CWL? What are the best guns?
The best guns have stayed the same. Still the SOG, the Maddox, and the ICR, but SOG got a little worse and the Maddox got a little worse. So I think the ICR got better because of those nerfs. Yeah. So ICR players should be performing real well this event, especially ours.
Yeah, I want to see us outperforming. Really good.
So we talked a little bit about home field advantage. Optic is going to show up in full effect. Their fans will be there. Is there anything that the fans can do to like help or hype you, like as they're cheering? Does that get you going? If like a dude's like right there, like as soon as you get off stage to like give you that high five?
Yeah, I mean, I think any like positive reinforcements, any like energy or hyping you up or just gassing you up, it's like it's always good. Like you feel just pumped, ready to win.
And you feed off that.
Yeah, you really feed off that. I think that's something that Optic always had. Like, the crowd are always cheering for them, and I feel like that makes them play better. And any other team has that, they're going to play better. It's just a simple fact.
What about after a loss? Like I've seen you guys, it's very stern because you guys take your craft so seriously. It's off stage. It's like it's not a time to be smiling and those kind of things. Is it a situation where you want space? You'd prefer the fans like, hey, good game, high five, and then kind of leave you alone and like let's not talk about it because I need to go back and get back in the lab and study and all that. And like, what would you prefer from the fans?
I'm definitely a lot tougher on myself when it comes to that, so I don't direct it towards anyone else really. Like all the same outlook on talking to fans or being around people that I will even before the loss, because it's just kind of like, it's like my fault we lost. I do this 10 hours a day, 6 days a week. I shouldn't be losing matches I'm not supposed to. And yeah.
I think for me, it's like, I think losses affect me a lot. I like hate losing with a passion. And like, I don't know. I mean, I've had people want to take pictures with me before or like say hi and like, high five when I've lost. And I still do it but like I started trying to distance myself away from them. Like I was trying to leave right away, or I just, just do it really quick and just want to go just because how hard it hits me. Like, I've had some pretty bad losses before, and it's just like heartbreaking. You really don't want to be around anyone.
You need that time to process.
Yeah.
And think, get
like,
your head right for the next game.
It takes time too. It's not like the first day I'm okay. It's like I need like a couple days to really just get it out of my head and just focus on the next tournament or next thing.
Silly, it sounds like you're more of like that people guy. Like internally you might be boiling, but you can still kind of stay and be around everyone and take the pictures.
Yeah, I definitely try to be. My girlfriend she babies me a little bit whenever I lose. I think she kind of knows, like even if I don't say anything, she knows. So that definitely helps as well.
Right on.
Yeah, that helps me a little bit, but even then, like she knows like when I lose, she doesn't. She's like, don't be mad at me. I'm like,
is it like a look? She just knows the look, and when you got that look, it's
she
like,
knows
all
the
right,
look.
I got to do X, Y, and Z.
the dead inside look.
Get the back rub ready tonight. Those kind of things.
Yeah,
That makes dating and relationships like as a COD pro so complicated. I feel like because I mean, so much of your relationship seems like it's dictated by how you're performing and the events from your schedule standpoint, and so putting that time and care into a relationship is like unfortunately has to be secondary to a lot of this stuff, and
it's difficult.
And that person has to like understand that. I mean, getting into it, like you guys were together before like a lot of this stuff was popping off, but dating in this scene, what is that even like? Like, I couldn't even imagine.
I definitely feel like being a gamer hinders your relationship one way or another. With all the traveling and everything else, and like, your girlfriend's probably upset that you lost too, but you're more upset. So you know your feelings come first sometimes in that sense. Yeah, it's definitely a little harder, but some of us can make it work.
Yeah, I think it's I've struggled with it for sure for years. It's very difficult. We've obviously had a lot of fights over it, like just the grind and like the traveling and everything you have to do. But I feel like she's become way more understanding than she obviously did at the start, and especially with me succeeding and doing so well. So I don't know. It's definitely could be really tough sometimes, but it's worth it.
Yeah, it sounds like communication, I mean, in any relationship is key, and having that understanding of when the right times are, to have these discussions, and when you need your space, and you obviously need to satisfy these obligations that you have to the org, to the tournaments, to your team. Man, I don't even know what it'd be like being a single guy right now in this org, and then trying to like find a new blossoming relationship.
Well, social media is like a wild card because they can see anything and everything that the fans are like putting out there about you, and that's got to be tough for them sometimes when, irate fans or have they heard this and silly or that, and like they want to come to your defense. I'm sure. Like, do you guys talk about that?
I always tell my girlfriend not to respond to any of them because I don't want her to get into it with anybody. But my mom actually, my mom can't refrain from white knighting me on Twitter.
Nonsense.
Yeah, my mom feels the need to respond to or defend me to anything negative she sees. So I just let her do it because she wants to. But no, my girlfriend definitely tries to stay out of it. I just tell her it's it's not a big deal. There's internet trolls, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Have you had to ever go in and like rescue your mom or defend your mom against fans?
If anybody's like disrespectful to my mom, I'll say something. I'll just be like, come on, like. But I try to stay out of it as well because I feel like it kind of brings me down if I'm, feeding into the negativity.
Yeah. God, man, imagine people talking like crap about your mom online. That is probably one of the hardest things to refrain from like engaging on.
Yeah.
Ugh, I don't even know.
I'm one of those people that's almost damn near impossible to offend, but yeah, family is one of those things that's it's like, come on now, don't touch family. Yeah. Apathy?
No, not really. I feel like my wife Maria, she doesn't really engage much on Twitter. She doesn't really talk to people. She doesn't. I feel like she cares about like how I do and how am I performing, but she doesn't really focus much on like all that other stuff. I guess that makes sense. So there's never really any of those moments or things like that.
That's good. That's good.
That's how it should be.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you also stream a whole lot, so that's like another level of engagement. And like this is a thing. I'm not gonna say is probably an issue with you, but I could see it being where you're spending so much time streaming with quote unquote other people. They're like, well, what all the time for me? Like, where's my me time with you? You're spending all this time playing this game. Like, that's hard. I don't even know how you do that. So props to you.
Yeah, that's something that I kind of wanted to bring up, I guess, earlier, is that another reason why I sort of took, I guess, a small break from streaming, and I've been streaming way less, is just because due to the fact that on top of like grinding a same amount of hours just for the competitive side, like I was also streaming extra hours, and I just had no time to spend with her. Like, this is no time at all. Like, I'd wake up, like stream, play all night, and just go to bed at that point. So I decided to, like, other than just like focusing on the competitive side, also get like a little break, extra time where I can find in my schedule to go out with her, go out for lunch, or do something, because obviously like I gotta spend time with her. Mm-hmm. So it can be very difficult at times, and I feel like maybe in the future, whenever I'm done competing, that's when I'll become like a full-time streamer when I have that time to do it.
Mm-hmm. Is that what comes next, do you think?
That's
the entertainment side. And
I think that's what I want to pursue. I've always loved streaming and even doing YouTube on the side. So once I'm done competing, I really would like to try to do that and really try my best. I guess just make it as a full-time streamer.
I think both of you already kind of have strong cases. So if there was a Hall of Fame, if you will, of Call of Duty, you guys are definitely kind of etching your name in there right now. So it'd be cool to see in 10 years, just to be able to look back. You could start your own podcast and just literally get paid to talk about things that which would be Call of Duty and the esports
Call of Duty related.
Yeah.
You see that in traditional sports all of the time. The guys that go from being players to casting and hosting events and all that stuff. So would either of you guys want to become casters at any point? Like it's a different vibe. But
I think the analyst desk is kind of cool. I think I could bring something, new and refreshing to the analyst desk, but I'm hoping it doesn't get too oversaturated with players going into that over the years, because I'm not planning on retiring for a while. So, there could be 20 ex-pro players that are around the desk by the time I try to do it. So,
Yeah, I feel like with that, it's like sort of, I want to say to extreme levels of being a competitive player, but you still got to travel, to events, you still got to do all those things. And I feel like being a streamer, you just sort of on your own schedule. You get to stream whenever you want, and then once in a while you travel to maybe TwitchCon or whatever, like little events to have. So I feel like I just would like to have more time on my hands. So I wouldn't really want to do that unless I have to, I guess you can say.
I feel like Silly's becoming like a DJ in Vegas or something like that.
that would be cool. But
'Cause you're like a raver, right?
yeah, I'm a big festival goer, raver. Don't make any music myself, but it'd be something cool to learn.
Right on.
what's the typical go-to silly rave outfit?
I actually dress on the spectrum of ravers.
Whatever it is, it doesn't have
pretty,
sleeves.
Yeah, I'm pretty normal. Yeah, I wear bro tank. I'm like a bro tank kind of guy. Like nothing too crazy. I'm not wearing the
No
leg
fuzzy
warmers
boots?
or any glow sticks or anything like that. Just typical tank top shorts.
Gotta show off the
something
talents,
normal.
right?
Yeah, of course.
How many do you have?
I think I have like 6. I have one on my finger. I have my whole arm right here.
Nice.
I have this dumb sad boy tattoo on my arm. and I have this tree.
Wait, you
Tell
can't
us
say
the-
dumb
you
sad
can't
boy
skip over-
tattoo
you
and
can-
hates
we're
it.
just gonna gloss over that.
I went through this like I love like sad boy music, and I was depressed all the time, and just like whatever, like a few years ago, and I was best friends with my girlfriend at the time. I was like, hey, come get a tattoo with me today, blah blah blah. So what are you getting? And I told her I was getting. She's like, no, don't get that without me. I was like, you know what? I already went and got it. So for the time being, I'm stuck with it, but it will be gone eventually. So you guys have to get your.
Let's see it.
review on
Let's
right
see it.
now.
Let's
Oh,
get it.
God.
Right. Man. That's great.
Right there, right out in the open too.
the money sign on
Yeah,
the
it'll be gone soon. Don't you worry.
When you say gone, are you doing just a cover up, or are you?
Oh yeah, it's getting covered up. Yeah, I'll probably go around my arm. Something dark, nice and dark to cover it up.
Apathy, you got one as well, right?
No, I do not.
No tats. Not
Nope.
interested?
Listen, I'm interested. My wife now, on the other hand, doesn't want me to get any.
You
Priorities.
just tell
I
her
get that.
body's a temple. Put
Yeah.
some hieroglyphics on it. That's all it is.
I mean, we've actually talked about getting like a matching tattoo. Nothing crazy. Probably she says she wanted like a small one. I think that's where we'll begin. But I'm just waiting. She says she's kind of ready. I don't know.
Yeah.
Would you ever get a gaming tattoo?
I've thought about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, something. I don't know. I don't want a crazy gaming tattoo. Like not something big. Just something like I guess to express myself that I love
Not the
gaming.
Black Ops 4 logo.
Tactical,
No, no.
tactical nuke, 25 kill streak on your back. Yeah.
Yeah.
You get the gunship on yours.
Yeah. me and my girlfriend are going to get matching tattoos here on Monday. Actually, we're getting a controller from this guy.
The new Google controller. You guys seen that?
No, not that one. We'll probably get a PS4 controller. My girlfriend's a little older than me, so she's pretty much played every video game in existence. So
Nice. So you guys got the new Envy merch on.
Yeah.
Tell us how
Fresh.
being with Team Envy differs from being with other esports organizations.
I mean, there's a lot of things. I feel like I've been in a lot of organizations, and I think one of the biggest things that stand out, and one of my favorite things, is that they care so much and focus a lot on the competitive side. So like, no matter what, like if you need help, to get better, or you need a boot camp, or you need like assistance, or whatever the case might be, they got you. They have your back, and I love that because I love winning, and I feel like as a competitor, that's your number one focus. Aside from everything, like you want to be able to be in the best position to win. So I think that's one of the best things, for sure.
Silly?
I mean, Envy. Envy's kind of like a household name in Call of Duty. I've always wanted to play for this org. I actually used to play against Hastro in Call of Duty 4.
He was talking trash. What was that, episode 1? He was talking trash about he used to just spank you guys. Said you were babies.
Yeah, I mean, he was better than me back then. Definitely, he had to take over the reins of the org now. But love being here. Dallas is a primetime location. Always take great care of us. I love coming out here to the offices, and it's great.
So back to CWL Fort Worth. Any predictions Going into it, any sleeper picks? Anybody that the fans should keep an eye on, team-wise?
I don't know, because there's been a couple roster changes. That's sleeper picks. I don't think there's any really a sleeper pick. I feel like everyone.
If you've made it to this stage, like everybody has a shot.
We're not a
any
sleeper
given Sunday.
pick. We're gonna destroy. It's
All right.
known.
Hey, I want to
Show me something.
I will.
Let's see it. So going into this, we've got a lot of teams that are coming here to Dallas, which is exciting. Dallas becoming kind of one of these big esports hubs. But there was a team that potentially wasn't going to be able to make it here due to some ownership shenanigans. Lack of support from particular people. Let's talk a little bit about Excellerate.
The whole Excellerate situation, they started off, 1-0 in the league. They beat us, it's off to a good start. The original roster with Fastball, I don't think they even needed to replace Fastball in the first place. And they ended up completely overhauling the roster after the first set of the league and ended up getting released from their organization. Stro had to step in. He stepped in, the great guy that he is, sent him to Dallas, and I'm excited to compete against our brother team over there.
That's pretty awesome. That's a really interesting story. I don't even know if there's a parallel to that, like in traditional sports.
Not that I can think.
Yeah,
of.
where some other an owner is just like, you know what, this team couldn't make it. We're gonna make it happen for you somehow.
Good guy, Hastro, man. That was
Yeah.
that was really a generous act. Part of me wonders how much of it was like a weird flex, and how much of it was like trying to get these guys, make sure that these guys were here so we could beat them. Because they got you guys, so that kind of like that redemption arc. He was trying to give you a redemption arc, I think is what it is.
I like that. I need that.
No, honestly,
That in my life.
one more try.
Oh man, so CWL Fort Worth. I don't know if you guys have been to Fort Worth before. I don't think this is the first time they're doing it in Fort Worth.
Second time.
They did
I
Dallas
think this is
last
the second time. Yeah,
Okay.
I think it was last year.
So we're the Dallas, Fort Worth Metroplex. I'm a Dallas boy. It's like Seattle, Tacoma, or I'm trying to think of what other like cities that are right next to each other. Like I am not a huge Fort Worth person,
Me neither.
so that's like the
Too many of those
reason.
cowboy boots you wear.
Yeah. Cowboy boots. But anyway, we're gonna be going out to Fort Worth. That's this weekend already.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Wow.
But we're actually gonna try to do. Try to do kind of like a meetup out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
If you're an Envy COD fan or COD fan in general, come out and support. We'd love
Yeah.
to have you.
hometown. That'll be cool.
We need that crowd. We got to compete with Optic, man, because we know they're going to come out in full force. So we got to bring it.
Yeah.
Get your gear.
If you guys want to be in some Envy videos, look for cameraman Kang. He'll be there with his big camera and trying to get some footage. So, Kang, shout out.
Who are you guys scrimming currently?
Every team.
Every team.
Everybody.
I mean, we obviously there's like the same teams. I feel like we're scrimming majority of the time, like Optic, United, 100 Thieves. Sort of like we try to scrim the best teams possible because it's the best practice we can get.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I mean, for the most part, any team we can get. Or
Is there an issue with scrimming the teams that you're actually going to like start off playing? Like, does that complicate things because you're literally going to play them like the next day?
I definitely think it could. Like, scrimming them online is not too big of a deal, but like going to a boot camp against a team near pool and playing them over and over and over and over again, I feel like they could kind of pick up on some tendencies you guys have. I definitely think it could hurt you in the long run, so it's just not a good idea in my opinion.
Have you ever intentionally thrown like on these scrims, be like, set the bar real low so they
You just keep going to one spot in the corner and laying down. And like that's the new strat, and they're just gonna be waiting for you.
There's been some S&D scrims where like we're playing a team in like a pro down that we're gonna play at the event, and we kind of like don't play to our potential and search and destroy. We don't want to give up our strats, just kind of run around.
Makes sense.
I remember I think it was last year, we had a really good map, and then we played like a team. We were scrimming a team that we're gonna play them in a tournament. And we kind of just threw the map. We wanted to show them that we kind of sucked at it, so they would pick it, or we'd be able to pick it, which is a good strategy in hindsight because I mean you're just scrimming. It's not really like you need that practice on that map. So, but it's something rare. I feel like I've barely ever done it, maybe like 2-3 times in my whole career, and I feel like teams don't really do that. It's just something that could help you, but it's not always going to pay off.
So let's talk about mind games then in prepping for these LAN events. I mean, I feel like you said, it's all mental by the time you're like on stage. So you guys interact with these teams and these other players like all of the time, whether it's at the hotel when you're traveling or online or on Twitter. Like, what are some of these mind games you have to play with these other orgs?
I mean, I don't really play mind games to be honest.
That's more of an egg special.
He's all about it when he came on.
He is about
he
those
said, I'm
mind
snapping.
games.
He said, they're sitting right there. I know they can hear me. They can hear everything I'm saying. So
I think
trash,
the one thing,
trash.
I think the one thing is kind of good is like just, I guess, trash talking away or just like getting hyped. Because I feel like one, your team feeds off it, and two, it can make the other team sort of nervous and like put pressure on them, if that makes sense. Like if you're playing a close game and you're just getting hyped and you're yelling at them, and then you might be able to get into their head, and that's when it can affect their performance.
Can you actually hear the other team when you're on stage? Like at all?
If they yell loud, you can hear them yell. But you don't necessarily always hear what they yell just because of the soundproof headsets. So you just hear like a loud noise, but you can hear them sometimes.
Yeah, like, oh, what did this guy just say? Oh, I gotta turn it up.
You just tune it out. But
Can we just have Bevils in the back just yelling at them directly while you're playing?
Boo.
That'd
Boo,
be
Computer
nice.
4. Boo. You guys are just big dudes in general. That's got to be intimidating in some sense. We talked about working out and buff boys, like getting up on stage for some of these like younger guys on junior teams. That's got to be pretty intimidating. You guys think you're intimidating when you step on stage?
From a COD standpoint, I mean, we could be. If we had any team brawls, I think me and Ab would take the cake on that. But me and him are we're very nice. We don't try to.
I don't know. You got to worry about the quiet ones. Assault, man. You got to worry about the quiet ones. He's coming in with some nunchucks or something. Talk to us about junior teams. What do you think about junior teams in esports for organizations?
I think junior teams could be beneficial to. Actually, I think they can be beneficial to any of the pro teams that the orgs have signed. Like on E United, we had an amateur younger team, and they were actually way better than us at Search and Destroy.
Mm-hmm.
So they're basically on E United's roster to play us in Search and Destroy all the time to make us better in that certain game mode. And I mean, 3 out of 4 of those players on their roster are going to be future pro players. I definitely think it can help mold you into a better player when that time comes around when you can actually compete.
So the difference between a junior org and like the pro org isn't age by any means, because some of these guys can be really young on pro orgs. What is the differentiation like? Do they seem like a minor league? Like, I guess, do you feel like the big brothers of these guys?
Is the skill gap that wide?
Yeah.
I don't think it can be, but usually it's not. I mean, you can probably say it depends on the game as well. I feel like in Call of Duty, the skill gap sometimes can be very small. So, I mean, the junior team can be almost as good as the main team. So, I don't know. I really feel like it would depend on the game, because I've definitely seen like some games like the junior team is nowhere near as good as the main team.
Yeah. I've always been a B team guy in sports, so
Shocking.
not my forte.
Shocking,
I played basketball in elementary school. Not great at it, guys.
Were you in speech and debate though?
No, I was not. I was in band.
Oh,
Okay.
It's making so much sense.
And I did a lot of art. I went to an art school, so
That's right.
we didn't have sports in high school actually. So not my fault. We didn't have a sports team.
Because you went to Booker T, which is like a prestigious.
Yeah, it's all
What is it,
it's
art
all
school
art school.
in
So it's either
Dallas.
visual arts or performing arts, theater, music, and drawing and stuff. So.
Do you guys have any weird hobbies back in the day?
I wouldn't say weird, but I did used to like to draw a lot back in the day.
Really?
Yeah, from young to teen, I guess. I don't know, just something I really got into. I was really good at like kind of mimicking, I guess. Like you see something or you see a picture, you basically draw it very well. But yeah, I pretty much stopped once I really got into video games, and obviously that could be very time consuming. So I just
What age was that? Were you got serious about video games?
want to say like probably 14. Well, no, like very serious, probably like 15, 16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did the parents understand?
Oh, they did not understand at the start. It was
neither.
very difficult, but I feel like they're always kind of lenient, so they sort of let me play a lot, like compared to some people, I guess some kids like back in the day. As long as like I would do my chores and stuff, they would be like, okay, you can play on that if you want to. And as long as I was doing good in school as well, obviously. But
Keep the grades up.
So you're saying 15 and 16, so that's what, like 10, 15 years ago now? Ish. I'm just trying to think of like the time period.
like 8,
Did
9
you have
years ago.
Blockbuster? That's always my gauge.
Okay.
If you went to
8, 9
Blockbuster
years
and rented
ago.
a game, or if that was like gone by then.
Whoa. No, I never did that, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm just trying to imagine like what a parent thinks back then, because like nowadays you'll see parents and you'll be like, oh well, you know, these
Yeah.
all these guys are playing these games and making money, so okay, go ahead. But like,
It's a different world now.
yeah,
And I don't think
It
they
is.
fully get it, but they see maybe like the potential, and they see kind of the money associated with it because it's on the news. Like Fortnite's on the news like every night, so they're starting to come around. Silly, do you have any problems growing up playing video games?
I mean, not at all. I'm an only child, so my parents have always tried to be like,
Spoiled.
you know, supportive of what I'm doing. And I did spend a lot of time at Blockbuster. You know, make my parents drive me there. Got to give me the game that I'm not old enough for. And, probably since I was like 12, I've been playing like semi-seriously.
were you guys always playing like FPS then, or were you playing RPGs and fighting games at that point in life?
Probably everything.
Yeah, I was playing all of them.
Yeah.
Up
I
until a
really
certain
got
point.
into shooters or like FPSs and around the time, like probably 14, 15. I first started playing like Halo 3 and then slowly switched to Call of Duty 4. And then I guess Modern Warfare 2 is when I really started kind of on the road to become a pro player.
Is there anything in recent memory that you like it came out and you really wanted to play it, but you just didn't have the time? That wasn't a first-person shooter.
I mean, Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
I installed it. I played
Oh,
like
he
the first
loves that.
mission. I haven't found time to, you know,
Get back into
play
it.
it. Yeah.
Start your posse, go around and just beat up other people. Man, that game is hard to just be a solo dude running around in the open world online.
Getting jumped?
Yeah, you just get jumped by like hordes of other cowboys in their awesome boots.
I would totally do that to you. You know, I take great passion in killing you whenever we play together in video games.
I
love
Yeah,
it's Attack Justin.
I know. It becomes that.
Apathy?
And I feel like for me, like, let's say last year was Fortnite.
Yeah.
Like, I got very addicted. And I think that's a reason why I don't have that right now is because I stay away from any new game. Like, Apex Legends looked really fun. Like, if I would have got into it, I probably would have got addicted. So something I usually do now is, like, I focus on my, you know, competitive end side and just, like, really not get sucked into any of these games. That way I don't, you know, waste time on those games.
It's not even other games. There's like other game modes in Black Ops. Like how much Blackout have you guys played? Because that's all I played when it came out.
I definitely grinded Blackout a lot, like the past couple months, and it's like slightly different from multiplayer. So I feel like it was just, I don't know, it was affecting me in a way. And so the last, like I would say, month or so, I haven't touched Blackout at all, and I'm just staying away from it for now. Maybe I'll get back into it soon.
So on a previous podcast, we had JDM and Nifty on from the CSGO team. And JDM actually said he had considered leaving CSGO and potentially maybe going to like Overwatch or something like that. I think he was checking out Apex. If you weren't playing COD, what do you think you'd be playing competitively?
I was a big Counter-Strike guy for a long time. I mean, I have like, you know, not obviously not like them, but I have like 4,000 hours racked up, you know, playing CS. So I would definitely try and be a Counter-Strike pro.
Okay.
If I was in COD.
I would have said probably Fortnite, but that's kind of long gone for me.
I cannot see you playing Fortnite.
I was really good at the start, but I had World War II came out, and I had to like completely just throw away Fortnite and basically focus on obviously, you know, competing. But I don't know. I would probably say if not Call of Duty, maybe Halo.
Okay.
I was a big Halo guy back in the day, and I feel like now that I've learned so much in my career, and I feel like I'd be able to adapt and get very good quickly. So that'd probably be the game, as long as it continues to grow, because right now it's like kind of just slowed down a bit.
Mm-hmm. What about Apex Legends?
Haven't played it.
Haven't touched it.
Nope.
Curious?
He did.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a good game. I enjoyed it a lot. I mean, a lot more than Fortnite in its current state. I love Apex.
Looks very fun, I'll tell you that. Looks insane.
Man, that's crazy to just be able to like see this game. It's free. You just play it. Everyone else is playing it. What do you do to like steel yourself away from jumping into that?
I feel like if I'm losing and I'm not doing well, and I know I have to like I want to win, you know. So if I have to sacrifice not playing that game so I could completely have my focus, I'm gonna do it. That's just how bad I want to win, and that's how bad I want to succeed. Really, that's just all it comes down to.
I was just in LA with the Dallas Fuel, and their general manager Tasmo, who's an old Call of Duty guy, He did a lot of e-sniping. He was trying to show me all his montage videos the whole week. Dude, check out this.
Living his glory
Look at this
days.
360 no scope. But he was telling me, like, even last year, he would like to get more into streaming games, specifically not Overwatch. But when the team's not doing well, he feels like he can't get on because people are like, what are you doing? Why are you enjoying video games? You need to be, like, working with your team or, like, improving the org or something like that if a team isn't winning. So, yeah, I could totally see that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd get that sometimes. Like, my team wouldn't be doing too well, and I'll be streaming like H1Z1 or Fortnite, and to be like, "What are you doing? Like, you should be grinding Call of Duty. Like, get back on Call of Duty." I'd be like, I mean, they have a point to a certain extent.
Man, it's a lot of pressure. Again, back to this whole concept of pressure as a pro player. Like that's the difference. You're not playing casually. Everyone's looking at you to perform. And, and the difference between doing well and not is all up here for you. And so, props to you guys for being able to handle that.
With all the variations of Call of Duty, does your love for the game ever waver? Like on a year-to-year basis? Like, oh, like this one, it's like, oh, it's really hard. This is still my 9-to-5 grind. But, man, I wish they would spice this up a little bit.
There's only been like one like unplayable Call of Duty for me, and it was like Call of Duty World at War. All the other ones since then, like I have no issue playing. They're all fun to me, but that one was horrible.
Do you have a favorite?
Probably Black Ops 1, honestly, is my favorite.
It seems to be the theme. I think that's what Ike said as well.
Honestly, like probably all the Black Opses.
Yeah.
I know he wasn't that big a fan of Black Ops 3, but I liked it a lot. So
Yeah, I bet you did.
Do you
I like all of
prefer
them.
from the settings? Like, do you prefer like the historical World War II setting, or the more modern day, or the future? Right?
Jetpacks
Nah.
jumping off walls.
Definitely not futuristic.
Yeah, probably the modern. I feel like World War II, even though the game wasn't that bad, it was like fun to play. It just looked, every time I hopped on the game, it just felt depressing. Like the colors are just so dull. And I just felt like I didn't want to play it. I don't know, it's kind of weird, you know. And there's definitely been games where I hop on and I don't want to scrim. Like it's just a little bit more dreadful because maybe the game's not as fun, or the way the game just looks, it just makes it less exciting. And I mean, it's definitely changed. Like going from a futuristic game back to a boots in the ground and World War II type of style. I feel like the jetpacking games are just fun, more fun to play, more fun to scrim.
And you guys grind so much. You guys are playing this game for hours and hours and hours. How do you keep it from just becoming going through the motions? Or does it become muscle memory? And
It definitely it definitely becomes like kind of in the motion type of thing. And I feel like it's good in a sense if you're doing the right things. But when you start to just play to play, that's when you're not getting the best practice, and that's when you're going to start doing bad things. And I feel like you need to be self-aware. I feel like all of us as players, like that's kind of our job, because I've been there before. I've been there many times where you're playing, you start getting sort of an emotion. You're just kind of just running around and shooting. You're not really focusing like I could have done this better. I should have done this. And I feel like that's just where you as players just got to focus up and just get back into it and get our head in the game and making sure we're doing the right things.
Do you unplug at that point when you're you see yourself just kind of lolling through it? Do you say, okay, I might need to take a day off, take a personal day, go get some shoes?
I feel not really. I feel like that's sort of like kind of goes hand in hand with an effort. I would say, you know, it's kind of difficult. I would say because like you're scrimming every day. Let's say 6 to 8 hours every single day. We probably get like 2 days off a month, so we really don't have any days off. So it's just a constant grind, and eventually I feel like it's normal. Like you're gonna get into the motions, and that's just like where you got to put in that extra effort to really get your head back in the game and really just focus up, and just like it's just gonna require that extra effort and push.
So rather than withdrawing, you're doubling down. You're saying,
yeah,
just focus. I just gotta keep grinding, keep trucking.
That's how it is.
And that's where the teammates come into play, right? You're like, man,
Yeah,
pick it up.
Get him out of the funk.
Pick it up, Apathy. What's going on?
These guys.
Are you guys able to see when somebody just isn't, on their mark? Something's just weird. Something just feels off about their
Yeah,
play.
100%. We take care of that real quick. If anybody's like, not playing right or
Apathy's laughing. What is that? we take care of that real
if anybody's not playing
What is
right.
real
What do you
quick?
do to take care of it?
We're just like, first thing is just like realizing it, and they're all like, yo, is something wrong? Like, do you not want to play? What's going on? And we get to the bottom of it and try and fix it as quick as possible, because there are times like extremely valuable, especially before events, so we can't have anybody in a slump, or else it's going to hinder our practice.
It's very professional. It's no nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's something you guys have to work on throughout the rest of the year is building that trust and like open communication to to be that blunt and direct and be like, hey, something's wrong. Like, let's get that out of the way so we can perform. And then especially if you start tilting, like if you lost a match, like how do you refocus that? Who's in charge on the team of like making
Tilt management.
Yeah, tilt management.
I mean, number one on that would probably be Bevils. He tries to keep us all calm, because we all kind of either tilt at each other or ourselves. So he's kind of like the middleman since he's not actually in the match. So you can kind of see it from outside perspective. He's probably our biggest, like our therapist pretty much.
And that's communication in between rounds, correct? Because he's not on the mic with you guys during games.
No, yeah, that's in between. That's before, after, like in between the actual maps. He can come up and talk to us, and that definitely helps.
Is he allowed to listen to comms?
Nope.
Nope. But he's right there though, so he can hear.
Yeah, he can. He can try real hard and listen.
Yeah, if you wanted to, you can hear us all.
Yeah, I mean that's being able to adjust between rounds. That seems to be some of the most difficult parts of playing on stage. I mean, you have such a finite amount of time to fix whatever it is you aren't doing right. So, what's that communication like? Is it literally does Bevils see that in between a round and be like, "Hey, here's an issue, fix it"?
Yeah. He'll literally just like point out what we did wrong and how to fix it going into the next map, and then we just keep that in our head and try and improve.
Has there ever been a scenario where somebody just kind of like shuts down and it's like, the team's over here and this person's right here and there's just a disconnect?
I feel like it's happened before. I can't pinpoint when, but definitely like people will just go off and do their own thing, or they'll get like frazzled and just do whatever. It's definitely happened.
And that's something you probably you can't do in between rounds. It's like there's just not enough time to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah,
so.
that's like a day thing. Like you just wake up on the wrong side of the bed. And just
That's where keeping composure is very important. Like not tilting, not losing full, making sure they have their head in the game, and that way they can perform the best. And as a team, you can do the best you can.
I know me for my amateur gameplay. When I get tilted in a game, I have to either I'm done or I gotta do something to like reset my brain. And I don't know if you guys have something like you slap yourself in the face or you just like splash some water, just like get it out of your head. Shake it off. Is there like a routine you have?
I don't know. I really wouldn't say like a routine. I feel like a lot of people who compete are just mentally strong, so they try to like just reset and just get it over with. Especially when you have, I think the biggest thing is experience, because with experience you learn a lot, and I feel like you're more comfortable and you understand that you can't let it affect you. I feel like when you're first starting and you're at a younger age, you tend to tilt more and you tend to let it affect you more, and then it affects your gameplay, and that's something you just can't let happen, especially in a tournament.
Mine has always been I pull out my phone and I go to Notepad and I write like all like the juiciest, colorful, nasty language about my teammates that I can think of, and then I hit delete, and then I feel better. You just got to get it out, right? That's not
a bad idea.
Are you allowed to have your phones on stage?
We can, but they really don't like us to obviously use it, or like I just put it in my backpack. Yeah, definitely you can't use it mid map still. That's like 100%.
You have like a notepad, like a physical like piece of paper that you could write on, like.
Or Coach Bevils, he can bring that up. I don't think we're supposed to have that either.
Yeah,
up on stage with us. No, he can do it in between
Honestly,
maps.
like
in between maps is
selfie.
fine.
Just like clapping on these dudes right now, like mid match, just see what happens.
They'd probably find
Probably
us.
some fines.
Yeah, we'll get fined for sure.
Astro cover that, man. That's great. It'll be fine.
If he's covering it, I might.
You gotta
might
start
have
wilding
to,
out.
Let's figure out what that fine is real quick.
Before
so
we do it,
yeah.
that's making history. That hasn't been done. There's some change.
Is it worth the fine? We gotta.
Yeah,
figure
probably
that
not.
out.
The fine probably wouldn't be that bad,
Yeah,
realistically.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. It might be like if it's like a couple G's and it's gonna get us like X amount of visibility and promotion.
Astro and Ace were talking about the refs. Like back in the day, they were literally just there. People would be cursing each other out. And
Oh
it was
yeah,
like,
it was bad.
I don't know. I was paid $20 to stand here and make sure nobody's cheating. So, and it sounds like they've definitely upgraded and at least the expectations of the refs.
I mean, let's keep it at a more professional level.
Yeah.
I guess that's the biggest thing, especially now that's taken very serious.
Is there anything that the event staff or people putting together these productions should take into consideration when it comes to the players? Is there something that's missing, or just a nice addition, something that would be like, hey, it'd be really cool if we had, I don't know, towels hot towels after you come off stage.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Wanna
feel
treat
like
yourself.
Massage.
they take really good care of us. Like they have hand warmers for us when we need them because obviously it gets pretty cold. Like your hands get cold on stage. You would like them very warm. They have water. They take very good care of us. I don't know if there's anything really that I'd personally need or want.
Silly. Some slippers.
Yeah.
I
Heated
mean,
slippers.
everything's pretty good now. Just the hand warmers and the water is pretty much all I need.
That's all you need.
All right. So
And the monster. Can't forget the
there you
monster.
go. Real life question. Speaking of Monster, drinking energy drinks and water and everything. If you have to pee mid match, like what happens? I literally don't know.
Bevils gets the
Well,
Gatorade bottle.
I'm
He climbs under the table.
I'm a firm believer that if you need to pee mid match and you guys are winning, don't, because you're gonna mess up the juju. You gotta just stay where you are and just stay in your seat and keep the momentum
Doesn't
going.
that make you shake though? Like I would just be in my chair, like
Yeah, you're just like
it's affecting my aim.
I don't
Crosshairs
even.
are shaking.
I tune it out, man.
That's what that's why you obviously use it before, and then there's definitely been times where you do got to use it like mid map, and it's like getting really bad, and you just got to pull it through.
That makes you play better. You're like, dude, we gotta clap on these dudes because in about 20 minutes.
I feel like it's
coming.
been both ways. Like it's made me play worse before, and also it's made me play better. I feel like you just gotta. It depends how. I don't know during like the feeling. I guess like how you. I don't know how to explain it.
Depends on the motivation you want to take out of it, I guess.
Yeah, like.
Are you allowed to? Like, is there? Can you break at like between a map and be like, look, emergency pee?
tactical
like,
pee pause.
Yeah, I mean they do usually every 2 maps is when you can use
Yeah.
a bathroom break. But if after a map you really need to go, they'll be like just run. Like you have to like go though.
Okay.
That way you come back fast.
Have you ever thrown up mid match?
No, never.
Stress, nerves.
I was throwing up before the first event I won. I was throwing up because I had like a throat infection. I just had like a fever and I was nauseous. Right before our grand finals match, I was in the bathroom puking, and I was like, all right, I'm ready to go.
Did you guys win?
Yeah.
Oh.
I had gunless on my team, so that's probably why. But
You gotta have a special diet, right? Silly.
I not that I follow anymore. I'm allergic to quite a few things, so I try to stray away from them, obviously. But I was on my salmon and rice diet for a while. It's pretty much like the only thing that doesn't upset my stomach.
Like the meal prep.
Yeah,
every day?
yeah.
I can't meal prep. I can't eat the same thing. Like after 2 days, I'm checked out.
You eat bacon like every day though.
Yeah, but that's bacon.
Yeah, come on, man. You gotta call me out.
He like Uber eats the bacon, so
This is true.
Uber Eats.
Yeah,
he like buys bacon from a Denny's and tells them to deliver it to the office.
yeah.
Wow,
It's great.
Just bacon.
Highly recommend. Just bacon.
that's interesting.
After he's like, man, I got home cooked meals.
Yes, I love my home cooked meals.
Your girl can cook it up.
Yeah.
What-
I can't cook that much though. I feel like when I'm very serious about being fit and like being healthy, I will put the time in to like cook my own meals and make sure they're healthy. But I don't know. Lately, I'm just like it's a little time consuming. So I just like once in a while I'll probably make breakfast and then Maria will make me dinner and then I'll just kind of roll like that.
Nice.
What's your go-to like meal to cook if you had time?
Chicken, brown rice,
Yeah.
and then either like a salad or avocado or
That's why
something.
they look good. These
I
ones.
know.
Thanks.
It takes effort, guys. Stay healthy. It takes
does.
effort. These dudes aren't jacked and swole for no reason.
Just drinking Monster and sitting on the couch. Yeah. Yeah. I've been trying to do this thing like a minimalist lifestyle where anything I don't need, I just throw it away. And so I'm really like narrowing it down. My wardrobe is like 10 jackets, 10 jeans, 10 shirts. And you hear from like these big like investor guys like the Bill Gates and like how they wear the same thing every day and it's just one less thing to think about. Do you guys take any of those steps? Like what's some things you do to make sure your mental health is in check?
It's actually funny you say that because I have that issue right now where I have too many shirts, just like
You're a
random
hoarder.
shirts. It's not that I'm a hoarder. It's just like, I don't know. I buy clothes sometimes and then my wife buys clothes and then for Christmas, her mom and her sisters buy me clothes and I just end up having so many clothes.
Then you get like free merch.
Yeah, and then that too on top of it. So I feel like that's kind of where I'm at right now. Like I kind of want to get rid of a lot of things just where it's just like simple. Like I have my set amount of clothes, like not too much, and I feel like it's just easier on your mind, whenever you're gonna get ready in the morning or in the afternoon. It makes everything just more simple.
Ryan, one of our other employees, was telling me about a show apparently where this little Asian woman comes to your house and kind of does it for you. And I've never seen it, but I imagine she's just holding stuff up like, does this mean anything to you? No? Okay, it goes.
Does it spark?
And if you like just wait, like, so I imagine her going to Silly's house and just opening up the shoe vault.
Oh my
and
God.
just like going nuts, just throwing out everything.
No, not the shoes.
Not the shoes. Is there anything else you collect?
No, I have a lot of clothes too. I mean,
Yeah.
it might not be a bad idea, get rid of some stuff. I have we're at my parents' house until our house is finished, and I literally just have clothes like overflowing out of my 2 closets, so I don't even have any room left.
See, that would make me lose my mind.
Yeah, it's tough.
Apathy, you collect anything? Pokemon cards?
No, I used to collect Pokemon cards, even Yu-Gi-Oh cards back in the day.
Really? Do you actually
Yeah.
play or just kind of bought them and put them in
I
a
played
book?
for fun with my friends.
Yeah.
I felt like I've always got into like a lot of things because I've just been a competitive person. So I like I don't care what it was. If it's fun and it's competitive, like I'll play it or I'll do it.
I'm the same way. There was like competitive tic-tac-toe. I'm going to the tournament. I got my bandana on. Like it's going down.
It's going down.
Man, see, I'm right now. I'm just too damn casual. Like I'm not good enough at anything to be really competitive. So I just have to like relax and kind of enjoy it. I mean, I like competitive games because I like to play a game and feel like I'm accomplishing something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And right now that's trying to like dominate somebody else, but I'm just not that good at them. So I just play for fun.
What a nice life you lead.
I
We're
mean,
over
I'll
here
still get
stressing
upset.
and struggling and grinding.
Totally. Don't play with this guy. It's bad.
It's bad. I don't
I'm
know.
a really good player. I don't know what you're talking
It's
about.
bad.
I'm a teammate. I'm passive aggressive though.
Very.
So I'm not gonna like, oh, you trash and all this. I don't get into all that, but I'm like, oh, so you're just gonna miss that shot, huh? Like you're just not gonna you shoot that guy in the head when you have the clear shot. Like, all right.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You ever get passive aggressive?
Sometimes. Justin knows.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But I do it sort of like a trolling way though. Like I don't mean it like completely mean it. It's just for fun, kind of, I guess you can say.
This guy tilts me, man. Yeah, he is fast
Him
aggressive.
specifically, bro.
I do it to Pat too, so I think it's probably just kind of like a cycle around the team. He does it to me, I do it to Pat, and then just kind of.
What about assault?
And then Adam's just there being quiet? Or
Yeah. What's Adam doing?
Adam doesn't. He has
Adam's just Adam.
nothing negative to say. He's quiet. He's a good teammate. Keeps his head
What
down.
do you have to worry about though?
Yeah. One day he's gonna
He's
strike.
just gonna put out
He's gonna
put
lose
out
it
a
one day.
tell-all like stories from the road with Team Envy, and he's gonna put all you guys on blast. It's gonna be a New York bestseller.
Oh no.
All right. I better get it cut.
You just want a piece, right? You just want a taste.
So this road life, I mean, you guys have been on the same team for a while now. Is there any weird road stories, or just people have weird habits that you just let him do that thing? It's weird. I don't know. I don't want to deal with it. Picky eaters. I mean, you've got sensitive stomachs and things. That's a different story.
It's got to be eggs. I'm thinking eggs already.
Pat definitely has like just a weird like Pat diet. I don't know. He
Diet.
like when we go grocery shopping for like the league and stuff, he just buys like the most odd things. He'll buy like just chicken breast and like pre-made brownies, like sweet baby Ray's barbecue sauce, and just like whatever you like, man, as long as you're comfortable.
We'd be great roommates, man.
Do you have like a different diet when you're playing the game, like in season versus like off season? Or are you
I
just
mean,
kinda consistent?
for sure, I like to like kind of eat healthy and just get the right stuff in your stomach, because I've definitely eaten food that's made me too full or sluggish and stuff like that, and I feel like that's gonna affect you when you play. So I mean, that's just the biggest thing. Like especially when I'm in a tournament, I just want to kind of eat healthy for the most part, eat clean. Make sure I got that natural energy.
Yeah.
Make you live longer.
Oh yeah, that's another thing.
Can you see yourself like on a porch with this dude, like 40 years down the road, just talking about the good old COD days?
Hey, you never know.
And I'm trying to imagine what these guys look like at like
Futuristic houses
60.
and
I'm already 35, so
Apathy looks like a
much.
quilt guy. Like he like just give him a quilt and he's just smiling, cheesing like he is right now.
What do you think? What do you think the retirement age is for Call of Duty in general? Not for you personally necessarily, but like as a whole.
In the past, it's probably been like the 25, 26, 27 range, but I feel like with how much money's in tournaments now and how much more effort people are putting in. I mean, I wouldn't even put a cap on it. There's Counter-Strike players in their 30s. Clayster right now, he's 20, about to be 27. I mean, I think the average age is going to keep going up and up and up.
Yeah, I can agree with that. It's definitely changing.
Yeah. It's different.
It seems to be younger than traditional sports, though. You have like a finite window, and then you're out of the NFL. Like, you can't go past that. Is esports different? You can kind of hang on.
Like
to
physically speaking, like
I mean,
the reflexes.
I think the biggest
timing.
thing, physically, I guess maybe affects some people more than others. It can, but I think the biggest thing is like as long as you're performing and as long as like I guess it's also time. I feel like as you get older, whether you have a family or other responsibilities, you want to maybe spend more time with your loved one. Your time slowly start to like pull away from competitive and gaming, and therefore it affects your competitive and affects your performance. So I think that's another reason why some people retire around that age because they slow down and start to not play as good.
What do you say to the people who kind of negate or downplay it being an actual sport, esports, as far as the training that goes into it, the mental toughness, the preparation, those kind of things that go in that are just like traditional sports? What do you say to somebody who's like, oh, well, it's not? I mean, they're just playing video games.
I mean, there's a lot to say about that topic.
How much time you got, buddy?
no cursing.
No cursing. But I feel like, it is obviously like, I don't know, I view it as a sport to accept maybe the physical part, but everything else, like you're saying, the mental toughness and all the like hard work you put in and the time and all the strategy involved, and there's just so much that goes into it, and I feel like a lot of people don't know unless you've competed before or played at that high level and you understand like how hard it can be and how tough it can be. I don't know. It's crazy. I really don't really talk about that much, or I don't really talk about, I guess, is esports an actual sport, but I view it as so.
How do we get them to see behind the curtain, like all of the hard work you guys put in? They don't see the grind. They see you on stage playing Call of Duty, getting 25K checks, the big giant Happy Gilmore checks, holding those up. They don't see the grind.
I feel like the more it's like, public info, like it's on TV and everything that goes into it, people really learn like what we actually do. We don't just like play video games sometimes, like go to these events, like win, we actually put like a lot of time in, and
Right.
I feel like people will eventually start to see it as like kind of like a sport aspect, but I don't think they do right now.
And it's not just time, because a lot of people that play video games put a lot of time into video games. It's how that time's spent. Like I play a lot of Overwatch, I play a lot of Apex, but I'm not really improving. I'm just playing because it's what I want to do. I'm not like critically analyzing what me and my team are doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just playing, and I don't care if they suck or not. I'm gonna say they suck, and I'm gonna think I'm awesome. That's not what you guys do. You guys are like learning and honing and crafting your skills like constantly. It's different.
I feel like that's a reason why a lot of like pro players can play almost any game. It's because we have that mindset going into like any game. Like when I'm playing Fortnite, if I do something wrong, I instantly realize and be like, next time I got to do this. And it just, as you're playing, you're putting a lot of hours in. You're just constantly doing that. You're just constantly improving. And it's definitely like quality over quantity. When you're practicing just in Call of Duty, you're really just being critical on your mistakes. You're really focusing on what you did wrong. And as you're playing just by yourself, you're being self-aware, like, I shouldn't have done this. Like, I should have done different play and it would have worked. And that's how we improve and at a fast rate.
So for these aspiring esports pros, we've got, two of the best right here, different origin stories and all that stuff. But for somebody who's wanting to actually become a professional and their parents are letting them like spend time in it and they want to get serious, what do they need to do?
Definitely make sure you have invest in some equipment, like the best equipment possible in your respective, console or PC, and just keep your head down and grind as much as you can.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing, like what we just talked about, it's like quality practice. I feel like nowadays there's obviously people who are trying to become pro and they put in so much time, but the time is not really focused on improving as much. It's just more so just playing and just shooting their gun or whatever it is. And the best way you're going to improve and the best way you're going to get better is by actually being critical on yourself and really like going over film and going back into theater and like see what you did wrong and try. That's like how you're going to improve faster and even become way better than you are already.
How much of it is teamwork? Is it more that you're as a pro to actually be on an org and represent, the team? Is mechanical skill is great and adeptness of the game, but the teamwork aspect seems to be almost even more important nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, teamwork goes a long way. I think it also can depend on the game, even though teamwork would always be a factor. Like, I've played teams before where even you can maybe view our team last year, like maybe skill-wise, we're not like the most skillful players compared to other teams. Like when you match us up against like Optic or something where they have more skill, if you want to say like raw skill, but we just had better teamwork and we just performed better together and we executed stuff together better, which in the end of the day, like teamwork can outwin skill or talent. So it can be very important.
Where do you learn teamwork? I mean, you guys have played this game for a long time. Did you learn it in-game or did you have external experiences that really got you to learn to play as a team?
I definitely feel like it's more of like an in-game thing. Just like playing with other people like over and over and over and over again. I feel like you kind of learn about other people's habits and like how to perform around them and whatnot.
Yeah, perform around them. They don't always have to perform around you, which I think is the mentality for most people online.
Are you trying to call me out right now? My Bastion? My Bastion play? I mean, the carry? Support me. Support me. I am the team. No, that's a great point.
So, anyway.
What's new in your guys' world?
I mean, me, same thing. Got the home last year in August and just grinding and just continued to do what I do.
Yeah, I've just been waiting an eternity for my house to be getting done being built. So just waiting and waiting and waiting.
Does it have a pool?
No,
And
it's not.
This is in Vegas?
Yeah.
What are you?
My backyard's kind of tiny. I was like, I'm gonna walk out of my door into the pool, so I probably shouldn't get it.
Crazy thing about Las Vegas that I've always noticed is like you don't have yards. You have like piles of rocks and things like that. Like it's weird. I don't know. I like grass.
Yeah, no, me too. I would like to have grass too. We have water limitations too. So like if you do choose to get grass, like you're just gonna kill your grass in the backyard. So rocks it is, palm trees. Yeah.
Let's go.
Man, buying a house, making that commitment as an esports pro seems kind of tough because so much of the life is traveling, is moving between orgs, all that. So what really was the defining factor for you to be like, I'm gonna settle down and I'm gonna get a house?
I mean, I'm kind of at that age where I need to, I've moved out before and like got apartments and stuff, but my girlfriend wants to have a house. We both want to have a house, and it's an investment too. It's not like I'm gonna be taking a huge hit because I can eventually sell it if I wanted to, or whatever else. It's just the right time in my life to have one, I think.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things. It's just good investment, and I'm at that age where I should try to get a house. It's just better for my future. And on top of that, I feel like it can be difficult, I guess, when you're in esports because you never know when something bad can happen. Like you could randomly not be on the team, and then it's like, how am I going to pay these bills? But I feel like, we won the World Championship last year, which it just helps a lot with the money. So you always have like extra money in case something does happen. And I don't know.
Don't spend it all.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Like,
That's
just
another
because
thing.
you win it.
Exactly. Don't use it all. You never know, especially in esports. You got to have that money backed up just in case.
I've always been curious. Why do you think you see so much turnover in esports with people jumping from team to team?
I mean, I feel like it's like it could be complacency sometimes. Like the pro players sometimes that are at the top or that been competing for a while at the top, they eventually get complacent. I feel like it's just like I see it all the time. I've been through it even before. And I feel like once those players get complacent, the hungry younger ones that are grinding and have the fire and putting insane amount of hours slowly start to surpass those players, and then they just get that shot where they replace. And I feel like that's just like kind of the cycle.
Interesting. And you guys are on the top of the mountain right now as the reigning champs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like people are coming for you, those young guys?
Oh, trust me, they are.
They're watching right now trying to get, like, is they going to mention anything about destroy what their strat is?
Yeah, they are. I know it.
And we'll see. We got CWL coming up this weekend. It'll be another awesome event. High energy hometown for us. How do you guys feel about it?
I mean, I'm very excited. I feel like the biggest thing is I feel like we've improved a lot and we're really prepared. We're getting really prepared for this tournament. So I'm really excited to see what we can do and hopefully win the whole thing.
Right on. Yeah. Anything you guys want to plug before we get out of here? Got to get the plugs in.
Plug to Monster Gaming. You know, I drink energy drinks every day. No, a lot of you guys do too. Make
Shout
sure
out
to
to
drink your Monsters. Try the new Tropical 01. And plug to Scuff Gaming as well. They overnighted me some controllers because I managed to break 5 in the past month. So thank you for that.
Wait,
Appreciate you guys.
Hold on, I can't go over that. What are you doing? Are your hands just,
1, 2,
are you
3,
just
4,
that
5.
strong? You're that massive?
I
now?
have like some of them, you know, like refurb controllers. Sometimes they they break faster than others, but I keep breaking my left paddle. I must grip it like the Hulk on the left side. I keep breaking the button underneath the paddle, not even the paddle. So I don't know.
Man, this big boy is silly. Just-
Strong.
Yeah.
And hey, him too.
Wait, don't
me,
put
me
that on
and
me.
him mess up. We always break our controllers.
Yeah, we do pretty often.
Apathy, what you got, man?
I think the two biggest things, my Twitter at apathy_BZ and my Twitch, twitch.tv/apathy. Those are really two things I use the most active.
You gonna be picking up on streaming probably after CWL a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, we're going back home for I think a week, and then we go back to the league again for another week. But I'll probably be streaming at least 2 or 3 of those days while I'm back home.
Good stuff.
Yep.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Hopefully we get some time to
for
go
having
shoe
us.
shopping or something. Sneakerhead.
No more until I win something, man.
You got to get that dub this week, and that makes it very
Yes, sir.
important. We do have some church announcements before we get out of here. We have as Justin was saying, the CWL Fort Worth. That's coming this weekend, March 15th and 17th at the Fort Worth Convention Center. Come out and support these guys.
Yeah, we're gonna be out there. We'll be shooting some content, and then we're actually gonna do a watch party in Fort Worth. Actually, during our Dallas Fuel match, Friday at about 4 to 8 ish, depending on the time of the match, at Winchester Tavern, right next to the convention center. So while these guys are playing at CWL and you guys are out there to watch them, we can also watch the Fuel match too. So we can watch Call of Duty and some Overwatch that weekend out in Fort Worth. So join us there. We'll put some details up on the Dallas Fuel pages and Team Envy pages. So I'm excited about that. And then we've, of course, got Ultimate Weekend. coming
Ultimate
up.
Weekend. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
That was a question.
Like for it,
Mr.
I'm in the middle
Vice
of
President?
lots of preparation for Ultimate Weekend Dallas. That's the big Overwatch League event happening here in Dallas, actually at the Allen Event Center, April 27th through 28th. 8 teams from the Overwatch League coming down to Dallas. We're playing against the LA Valiant, as well as our only match of the season for Fuel against the Houston Outlaws.
The battle for Texas.
Big Texas
Gonna be
duel
big.
going on. Get your tickets for that on DallasFuel.com. We're going to release some details also about the Grandmaster Upgrade VIP package, where you can do some autograph sessions with the teams.
Ooh.
So that'll be interesting.
Also, we have the Envy Discord. That's going to be discord.gg/envy. We have a special queue up channel where you can talk about the podcast with other fans, and you can request future guests. Or if you want us to bring these guys back, and we can talk about clearing out Silly's closet.
But we're going to put more stuff in Silly's Closet, actually, with this
right.
launch of the new merchandise from Envy.
The new merch. Show
Yep.
it off for our
of new
video
stuff.
viewers.
I'm just
Oh,
need 4
yeah.
of these.
Oh, yeah.
But that literally just launched this past weekend. We're going to be releasing new stuff all the time now with our new partners over at EGL. They're our new merchandise partners. So lots
get
of cool
that.
new stuff. And leave us feedback because we want to know what you guys like. We'll make more of what you like and maybe phase out some stuff you don't. So it's an organic process. And we want you guys to be a part of it.
We're listening. But thank you so much for listening and or watching. If you're listening to us on iTunes or Spotify, it would mean the world to us if you left a review. That helps us bring the best content possible to you.
Yeah.
So definitely do that.
Don't forget to subscribe either on all the platforms. If you're listening to this on the your favorite podcast platform, hit that subscribe. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to subscribe and click the bell for notifications for our next episode. We do this every week, and we'd love to hear from you guys and leave us comments and reviews.
Leave us a comment on who you'd like to see next. Until next time, this has been Queue up.